Roald Dahl was obviously a late British author who wrote books many for generations. They weren't just for children. He also made stuff for adults and that as well. And I've got five books that are now fully owned by Netflix. So Netflix obviously acquired his estate back in 2021. So I'm going to obviously talk about five books that he's obviously written that I feel would be great for Netflix to turn into video games. Now, this list is in no particular order, and this is only five of his works. He's made over like 100 books. So just take this as a grain of salt and whatnot. This isn't his full catalogue, but this is just some of the ones I feel would work best as games. So first, at number five, we have The Magic Finger. Now, The Magic Finger is a story about an 8-year-old girl who's got a magic finger, who, whenever she activates it, a beam of energy shoots out of her finger and affects whoever's upset her and whoever she's annoyed with. Now, to me, that sounds like the perfect concept for a children's game, a game that would be perfect to aim at anyone. I mean, you could have this girl going on, like, just having a little venture, dealing with bullies, make a whole story about it, dealing with teachers, and to me, it'd be a fun little game that I feel would be huge. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be great, especially if Netflix obviously invested long term into the franchise or the franchise into this story and this IP. They could obviously make it huge. Whether or not Netflix does it though, I'm unsure, but we will find out. Number four, I have Roald Dahl's Revolting Recipes. I know this is a bit of a weird one for because people are going to say, NG, this is a cookbook. Why is a cookbook on the list? Well, that's the thing. We have nailed it Baking Bash as a game on Netflix Games, so I kind of feel like Netflix could do that with this Roald Dahl book. They could make this Roald Dahl book, like, call it Roald Dahl's Crazy Kitchen or something, and basically have you cook meals and cook cakes and all sorts of stuff from the books that Roald Dahl has actually made. You could also do something like throw George's Marvelous Medicine into that category as well. That's why that book's not on this list on its own, because obviously what it's about. I feel like mixing it all together would be a huge way to obviously attract more people to Netflix games as well, and people would enjoy their little Dahl thing. They could also do it as an actual cooking competition for Netflix as a TV show as well. So there's a lot of things they could do with this story. Number three, this one's actually quite weird because it's got quite a bit of history. Not just with Roald Dahl, but actually with one of Netflix's biggest competitors in Disney. This is The Gremlins. The Gremlins, by the way, is not the Warner Brothers movie from the 80s about the ones that can't get wet and the Mogwai and whatnot. This one is actually about The Gremlins, which was a book written by Roald Dahl during the Second World War and actually published by Walt Disney Productions back in the day. Now, what this book is about, it's actually about, an Air Force pilot called Gus, who obviously meets some gremlins, and the gremlins obviously trying to destroy his plane, and he basically convinces them, hey, we need to unite and obviously fight against the bad guys. This is obviously a World War II game, or World War II story, so obviously we all know who the bad guys are. Obviously World War II is quite a well-known historical event, so we know who the bad guys are, so that's what, I'm not going to say what they are, obviously, because obviously I don't want to get demonetized. But basically, that's what this book's about, and that's what I feel like Netflix could do. Sure, it might have some issues in some countries, and it would be need to aim at a slightly older audience than what we've seen with some other Roald Dahl products. But this would be a good one, in my opinion, to just hit the ground running to start with. Number two, actually, for Matilda. If you don't know what Matilda is obviously one of Roald Dahl's most iconic books. The film the film that they released in 1996 is also great as well. It stars one of the original cast members of the remake of Miracle on 34th Street. Great little film. The musical was alright as well. And well, with this, obviously, what you could do with this Matilda, you basically do it like a visual novel, or you could do it as like an open world game where Matilda's got to use books and her knowledge from books to help her on her journey and do all these different things. Because if you actually read the book and watch the movie, it's shown that she does have something like telepathy or something along those lines. So it would be kind of cool to see Netflix obviously utilize that and make an actual game for Matilda. I feel like Matilda could easily be one of the best things Netflix could do for a game. But that's not the best thing when it comes to Roald Dahl, in my opinion. No. The best they could do for Roald Dahl, in my opinion, is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, for those who don't know, I've spoken about this before on like Netflix Gamers Endgamers Checkpoint and whatnot. I feel like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the perfect IP for Netflix to make a game of. They could easily do like an idle mining tycoon or a city, like a simulation game where you're building a chocolate factory, you're building this empire, building this sweet and candy giant. And that's what I think. That's what I feel like they could do. They could do that. That would be a great little game to do. I would personally play. I think a lot of people would play it as well. Whether or not Netflix does that one, though, remains to be seen. But yeah, guys, that's my top 5 Roald Dahl books that I feel like need Netflix games. Let me know your picks down in the comments down below. I know people are going to bring up some of the weird admissions I've got on this list, but I want to hear your top 5. I want to hear your top 5 in the comments down below. What do you want to see Netflix do games on from Roald Dahl's catalogue? You know, let's start a conversation going. You know, maybe make your own videos, whatever. Talk about, yeah. And also, guys, I was talking about a writer. I want to plug my book. My book is linked in the description. It's a romance novel about a boy who falls in love with a girl with autism. So let me know your thoughts about that as well if you want to go check it out. It's available for free on Wattpad, so I'll leave it linked in the description. If you're new, guys, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, turn notifications. I've been Ethan Netflix Gamer, and I'm signing out. Peace.